Hi everyone, in this video I'll be talking about porosity cutoff values and how can we calculate these values. It will be more than one value because we will divide the reservoir into many zones depending on the properties that we have in the reservoir. As you know that we have more than one property in the reservoir. We have porosity, water saturation, permeability and clay volume. All of these parameters will affect on the value of cutoff. So let's start. I've made a new project and I will upload or create the wells that I need, then I will upload its data. So as I'm working on BUZURGAN, I will upload the first well in it. Name it as you want. So this is the first well and I will upload its data. I will start last load because the file that I have for BUZURGAN is last file. So this is the file that I have, and now I'll just upload it. I'll create another well. Then I will upload its data. As you can see here, I've only uploaded these 6 wells because I already have their current data. So this is the data that I have. It's for these wells. I will send you these data in my Telegram channel. I will also send you the last files of these wells. So you will start as I am doing now. You will start from uploading data and then you can upload its current data. So let's start with the first well. I will upload its current data. So you have to go to this input output, then go to load data, select the type of loaded file as ASCII file. Now go to the file that you have. Okay, this is the first well. Here you have to type the unit of curves. For depth I have it as in meter unit, and porosity I have it as percent, and here as percent too. Permeability in millidarcy and vertical permeability as millidarcy too. Here you have to select the type of the well or the type of the curve. This is the depth, and here we have core permeability and core porosity. So we will select core PHI, and here core PHI, and here permeability core. Okay, now this well has been uploaded. We can of course display it from this window. I've already displayed these two curves. HK it means horizontal permeability and VK it means vertical permeability, and here we have horizontal porosity and vertical porosity. Okay, I will display these two values in this curve. You have to notice that permeability values should be in log scale. This porosity should be in linear, but here you have to change the color. Permeability curves should start from 0.1 and end with 1000. I mean the scale should be like this, and here also should be started from 0.1 and end with 1000, and the curves should be log scale. You have to notice to this thing, because if you don't select this option it will be like linear, and if you select it as linear it won't be right. Okay, now we have these data. Now we have to do zonation, and I mean by zonation is to divide the reservoir into units depending on porosity, permeability and clay volume, and you can do that by yourself. You can display these curves of porosity, permeability and water touch and clay volume, and you can see where are the best units and select them, or you can use final well report. I'll show you how can we use it. Okay, so let's go to the final well report that we have for our well. As you can see, here are the topes that we have, and we can upload, or we can type these data. You can take this value and change the unit to meter, then you can upload them. This is for the first 3 wells, and also you can use the rest of the final well reports to find the tops of the rest of the wells. And you can do another thing. You can get the tops from the maps that you have. So I'll show you how can you do that. Go to the maps. Okay, this is the first map for MB21 unit, as you can see here, and it has the tops of the wells. As you can see here, this is the first well, and the top of it, of mushroom formation, is 3822, and you can take this value and do it here. As I told you, you have to calculate clay volume so that we can divide the reservoir from this truck. It was 3822, and you can see this value right here. Okay, so now this is the top of the mushrif, and after Mushrif we have MC2 as we saw in final well report. Let's go back to final well report. Okay, after MB21 you have MC1 then MC2, so you have to go to this map and get the top out of it. Now I have this map too. Of course I will send it to in the Telegram channel. Okay, this is MC1 and this is the top of the well that we have. 3,899, and we can go to this value. Of course we don't need this, and this is the second top. Now let's see the final unit that we have, which is MC2, and this is the top of it, 3,960. Okay, now we have 3 zones. Okay, this is the first well. Let's go to the second well and upload its data. Now this is the second well. I will upload its data as ASCII file too. Now here you have to select text files to show your files. Here you have to type the name of the wells. The first well is depth. Second one is PHI porosity, PHI core, PHI C. This is horizontal porosity, I think. Yes, this is horizontal porosity. So I will type it as H phi, and here V. Phi. Here we have horizontal permeability, and here vertical permeability. Depth in meter. This is the units, of course, and here in fraction too. As you can see here, it's in a fraction. Here the permeability in millidarcy. Okay, now you can upload them. Of course you have to select the type 2. Now the data has been uploaded. Okay, now you have to calculate the clay volume to divide the reservoir that you have, as I've done in a previous step. you have to go to the maps that you have. This is the first map, MB21. I'm working on the second well, so I will go to this and then take this value and type it in MB in IP 3867 3867. It's right here. Okay, now we don't need this. Let's see the second top. This is the MC top, 3947. Now let's see the final top that we have, which is MC2 for 4012. 4000. Okay. Now you have to do the same steps for the rest of the wells that you have. Then you can calculate the cutoff value. I'll do it and I'll be back. Now I've opened my project to show you what we have do to calculate cutoff value, but you have to finish uploading data for the rest of the wells that we have. I mean these 6 wells that we have current data for them. You have to finish uploading its data and make zonation, as I have done in the previous steps. After you finish with that, you can go to this icon, which is create a new cross plot, and press on it, then select X and Y values. Here you will do the first cross plot, which is between horizontal permeability, or horizontal permeability should be in Y axis. It will be between horizontal PHI, horizontal porosity, and horizontal permeability. Here you have to select the scale of the porosity. As we have uploaded the porosity curve, it was in from 0 to 50, and here from 0.1 to 1000, and permeability, as I've mentioned before, it should be in log scale. Okay, now you have to select the wells that you need to do the cross plot for, and as I have mentioned before, we have 6 wells that we have their cross plot, and this is the first one. The second one is BU1 and BU3. BU5, I've named it as DEB, so this is the 5th well. What we have to is BU10 and BU11. Here you can select the style of the point that you will do the cross plot for, and I always select this style to see the values. Okay, now press on OK, then do the cross plot depending on zonal depth. So you have to select this open, so you have the ability to change the zone to calculate the cutoff values. Now select the parameter set. It should be in clay volume, because we divided the reservoir depending on a clay volume. Now by pressing on apply, okay, here you have to select the active zone that you have. Okay, now you have this cross plot. Actually, I've divided Mushrif into many formations, into many units, but you will see 3 units as you divide the reservoir into 3 units. So you have to do the same steps as I am working on. This is MB21. I've divided into many steps, into many units. Now after I select these all, now after you selecting the unit that you need to calculate the cutoff porosity for it, you have to do regression here for the point that you have, and you have 2 options. The first one is to select this linear equation, and the second one to select this RMA. It means average. It will give you average line between your points. Let's see what give us the best equation. As I have the cutoff permeability as 0.1, so I have to see what is the porosity cutoff depending on this line. So this is 0.1, and here is the porosity cutoff, which is 6.012, and you can read it from this. You will see X and Y value. As you can see here, X value is 6.1. I won't get benefit from this line because it's far away from this 0.1, and I can calculate or I can't drop a line from this, so I won't use it. So I will use this one. Now I don't need this line, I will only use this. Now you have to save this value. It's 6.08. Now we have calculated porosity cutoff. You can do Excel sheet and save your values. I will do a new one here and name it as cutoff. Okay, now open it, and this is for the value of cutoff for MB21 and MC1, MC2. Okay, the first value is 6.05, and we will calculate cutoff value. Now here you can save the equations or the equation of this linear equation, but I don't need it because I've already saved it, so I will press cancel. Now select MC1 unit and do the same thing. Go to regression and select these two values, selecting these two equations. Now apply it, and then you can see as the previous unit I can't get benefit from this linear equation, so I will use the blue one. Now you can drop a line between point 1 and so as you can see here, as you can see here, it's the porosity cutoff is 1.23. So now you can type it here, 1.3. Okay, let's go to the third unit. Now we can get benefit from both of these linear equations, and as you can see here, we can drop lines for both of them. So we have to select one, and we will depend on R square value. As you can see here, the red one is higher R square than is higher than this blue one. It's 0.49 and this 0.40. So I will use the red one. Now I can drop a line, and then you can calculate phi cutoff. As you can see here, it's 2.8. Now type here 2.8. Now these cutoff values for horizontal permeability. Now we have to do or we have to calculate cutoff for vertical permeability for MB21, MC1 and MC2. Now we will do the same steps. I will close this window and then make another cross plot between vertical permeability, vertical porosity in x-axis. This is the vertical phi, and this is the horizontal or vertical permeability. This is the vertical permeability, and as I've done in the previous cross plot, I've selected the scale of these two curves, and permeability should be in log scale. Now you have to select the wells, the first well, third well, okay. Now we can now we can select the zonal depth. Okay, now after we apply it, as you can see here, we have to do the same steps to calculate porosity cutoff. Yes, so let's select the MB21 unit. As I've mentioned, you will see it as one unit if you didn't divide it, so you have to do the same step. Now press on regression and select these two equations. As you can see here, the blue one is the best, so I don't need this one. I will use this one to calculate porosity cutoff. I'll drop a line between point 1 and this linear this line and read the porosity cutoff. As you can see here, it's 5.49. So I will go to my Excel sheet and type 5.49. Okay, this is the first unit, and you have to select the second unit, which is MC1, sorry. Now let's see which of these two give us the best equation. So I will use the blue one too, and you can read the value of porosity cutoff. It's 1.2. And here the third one, and we will use the blue one too, and the value of porosity cutoff is 1.6. 1.6. So these are the values of cutoff, and now we have done with this. You can use these values to calculate net growth